Muslims, our guests who are visiting with us here physically, and our guests who are also viewing from around the globe. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum. Please turn off cell phones until after Jumah. Put them on vibrate. Keep them quiet. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي الصلاة حي الصلاة حي الفلاح حي الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah huwa alladhi khalaqal insana min tin wa ukhrijuhu min adh-dhulumat ila nur. Fa nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu. Nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayhi. Na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa sayyi'ati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarika lahu lahul mulk wa lahul hamd wa huwa ala kulli syai'in qadir wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Qala Allah fi Quran al-Karim, ya ayyuhan nasu inna khalaqnakum min dhakara wa untha waja'alnakum syu'uban wa qabaila lita'arafu inna akramakum 'indallahi atqakum إن الله عليم خبير ولكل وجهة هو موليها فاستبقوا خيرات أينما تكونوا يأبيكم الله جميعا إن الله على كل شيء قدير لكل جعلنا منكم شرعة ومنهاجا ولو شاء الله لجعلكم أمة واحدة ولكن ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم فاستبقوا الخيرات إلا لله مرجعوكم جميعا فينبئوكم بما كنتم فيه تختلفون. Allah says in the Quran, O mankind, Ya ayyuhan nas, verily we have created you from a male and a female, and we made you into tribes and nations so you would get to know each other. Verily, the most honored of you with Allah is the one who is the most righteous. Verily, Allah is all-knowing, all-aware. To each have we given a destiny, a direction returns him to. So strive, all of you, as in a race towards what is good. Wherever you are, Allah will bring you together. Verily, Allah has power over all things, over everything. For each, Allah has given a law and a means to execute that law. Shira'atan wa minhaja. This is the same word for sharia. So Allah says everybody has a sharia, basically. And Allah says, and if it was His will to make you all to stay in one community, He would have done that. But He has made you all a single people. He said He would have done that. But His plan is to test you in what He has given you. So strive as in a race, again in all good and all virtues. The goal of you all is to Allah. It is He that will show you the truth of the matters in which you differ, in which you dispute. So with Allah's name, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, again we always begin with Allah's name. We give all praise and thanks to Almighty God Allah, who says that Huwa Allahu Ahad, He's one. And we witness that there is only one God, the God, Allah. And again, we always give the complete and perfect praise and thanks to Him and to Him alone. He says, Allahu Samad. He said, He is Allah the Eternal, as Samad, meaning that He has always existed, always existed. And His existence, it resists anything that wants to affect Him. There's absolutely nothing that can affect Him. Nothing can affect Allah. Nothing can penetrate Him. Change, rest, all the things we say all the time. Time, and that includes life and death. None of these things, they touch Him. They don't touch Allah. You see, they touch us. The mortal life touches Him, not death doesn't touch Him. Allah said He is the living. He is the living. And His life is without need. He said He's eternal. And He is the source of life for every single thing that has life. He says that Lam Yalid wa Lam Yulad wa Lam Yakun Lahu Kufuwan Ahad. He said He never gave birth to anything. Never gave birth to something the way you would think about a father interacting and bringing about a girl or a boy. But we know the word Yalid is directly really represent a boy, you know. Though it means both. So he never gave birth to a son. And we know that's speaking to something, because somebody said Allah gave birth to a son. And He said that He never was. He said never was He a son born. to someone. And never has there existed anything like him. So we say, watch that. Watch the who. He's unparalleled. Nothing like Allah. He is one. His creation is one system. His universe, one universal unity, one unity system, one universal system, one systemic whole. This whole creation, the whole of the sky, the earth, everything that we see and that we can't see, all of them are held together by one universal law. You know, with the earth, you know, they still saying on the periodic table there's 100 or so elements. You know, the same earth, everything that's on the earth, Allah sends things from out of the sky sometimes, from out of what we call the heavens. And then we also have these aspects. Go out there, study the matter in the space. We find that they have the same elements, no different, nothing different that they find in them. No difference that they find in those things. So the Constitution is exactly the same. So one creation of elements that is consistent with everything that's in every single body and outside of the body as well. So science has found it. The scientific mind that Allah has blessed us to discover shows that we have exactly the same thing in us as human beings that the earth has in it, that also we find in the matter, the planets, the vast things in what we call the universe, but it has in it all one consistent whole, you know. And it says again, universe, one. And it's the message that it's sending, the verse, that should be read. One message, one communication that is all one. We're all one. It's all one. The existence of everything. So it tells us by reason of the intellect. This is what we have to reason with, an intellect. So by reason of the intellect, it tells us that it was made by one Allah, one God. You know? It is this unity that we see in the matter and in anything. The same unity is in humanity. It's in every single human being that's ever been here, that's here, and that will ever be here, that Allah created it with. When he created Adam, the first one, you know. And we know Adam is the first parent. This great day of Jumah, we are to focus on Adam. Every single Friday, in fact, every single day, but this day because we are required to come together. We're required to come together, and we're required to all sit and turn in the same direction all around the world on this particular day here and take us way back to that came before, you know. This day of Jumah, just coming together. And Jumah, we know Jumah means to collect, means to come together, means to gather. And we've done just that because Allah has called us to do that. This is a picture that he wants us to see. All of humanity, regardless of your race, your ethnicity, your nationality, wherever you are in the world, you're required to sit and face a certain direction. And turn, Allah says, turn in that direction. This is a picture of unity. It's a picture of the oneness of humanity under God. Under God. We know this society says one nation under God. But this is a picture that Allah Ta'ala gives us, you know. So it's not in turning away. This is not in turning away, but rather in turning together. Allah is saying that we will be united. This is the key for us, to turn together. You know, we will be brought together. Allah promises that. He said that wherever you are, He'll bring you together if you turn in this direction. You see? So we look at this. The world, we know, we see it every day. It has a lack of unity. It has a lack of unity. And we see in America, we say we're divided. And there are things that say that's dividing the nation. And, you know, and we are part of the global body of human beings, the global community. So the world, we see, it's really needs to have some sense of unity, you know. And the answer is in unity, really, is around this Qibla that we are facing. We are facing this Qibla, this direction, you know. We have to have a common definition of what is Qibla. You know, we are to unite, as Allah said. He turns in a direction, so we must unite around the Qibla, and the Qibla really is prayer. It's focused on prayer. We're called together to pray and to focus on the Qibla, regardless of wherever we are in the world. This is the call that we have. You know, so we have to agree, not just in ritual, but we have to agree in understanding what is the focus for all of human life, not just for the Muslim life. Qibla is not just talking about the Muslim life. So we have to have a common definition. Again, what we're talking about now, my dear brothers and sisters, is that we're not talking about the ritual. Some always think about the rituals, and some are focused on the rituals and they protect the rituals. That's okay, but that's a small level. You know, we're speaking about the principle. We're speaking about the meaning in the ritual that Allah Ta'ala has given to the last prophet, the Khatam an-Nabiyyin, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You see, the final, the completed, the complete, and he's also complete. So we're talking about the meaning of what he's given us. We know the Qibla for us is called Masjid al-Haram. You know, that's the direction. And we know in the middle, in the center, the heart of the Kaaba, of the Masjid al-Haram is the Kaaba. That sits in the middle, you know. But the Masjid al-Haram, it really has no roof. There's no roof there, you know. We know that some parts of it, they have put some roof over to try to accommodate the Hajjs, which that's getting ready to take place in another week or so. But the Kaaba itself is not the sacred mosque. We're not to see it as the mosque. The ground that you walk on, that's the sacred mosque. That ground, when you go in, that's the ground. You can't pray in the Kaaba. You're not supposed to go inside there and pray. It's not a mosque. It's not a masjid. You know, outside of that area, that place is the Masjid al-Haram, you know. And the Prophet let us know that the earth has been made for me and for my followers as a place to prostrate, as a place to pray, you see. So that tells us that the world really is a masjid. And of course, you know, that comes from the word sajda, we know. These are basic things in religion. You know, sajda, you know, sujood, you know, it means to prostrate. To prostrate. So he's saying that the world is made to be the place to prostrate, to make sajda. And we know really fundamentally, wherever you make sajda, really that space at that particular time is really your masjid. Anywhere you prostrate is your masjid. And of course, if you do it all the time, that becomes the masjid where that takes place all the time. Like this place is dedicated to just that, the place where you begin to prostrate regularly for that. So the place for sajda, it doesn't require a wall. And that's to tell us something. We're not to confine our human life to just that space, just that particular space. Allah says, Sakra lakum ma fi samawati wa ma fil ard. He said, all of this is subjected to you. It's for you. It's for you. So understand your place and see your place in this bigger picture. So going back to Adam is to get us to focus on what our identity is as human beings. We don't want to be distracted as we listen to things in society, begin to segregate humans based on racial identity, based on ethnic identity. We cannot allow ourselves to be distracted as Muslims. We have to stay focused on the Adam that's in each one of us. Adam, he's in the plural, you know, and that's all of us in the beginning. This day of Jumah, Adam was created on the 6th day. This day of Jumah, Allah Ta'ala calls us to come together all around the world on this day, that's the 6th day, that he says the day that he created Adam. If there's no Adam, there's no us. That is the beginning. That's what Qibla means. Qibla means what came before. What was at the beginning? What came before? This is what came before. We can't lose focus on what came before that connects our collective life as human beings. And the Kaaba is called Awwalul Bayt, Buniyat Lin-Nas, the first house built for all of humanity. That same Nas, Allah said, he says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakarin wa untha. That same Nas is a house for all people. This is the model, this is the symbol of what it represents. And it represents also, once you focus on that, we're supposed to be now having an awakening of our human mind that connects us with every single human on the planet, you know. And we keep going back. It takes us back. What came before? Many years back. Me, you, we weren't here physically, but Adam was here. Adam was here. He was the first one, you see. But if we understand it, if we understand Jumah, Jumah is really telling us that all of us were there in the first Adam. If there's no Adam, there can be none of us. All of us was there in the first Adam. So not only was Adam there, or here, you were. You were. I was. But we were just in a different state, being marshaled forward. Allah was calling us forward. And we're here now because he called us forward, you see. And that's our essential makeup. The same makeup that Adam had from the very beginning. Every single human, no matter how they begin to see themselves, no matter how they begin to classify themselves, they all go back to that same identity as Adam. That's our first identity. And Allah wants us to know every day that we pray, And even more so, it's to be magnified on this day of Jumah, that this identity that we turn towards to focus on, that identity is the most important identity. That identity, my dear brothers and sisters, is more important than your name. Your identity that has a name, that identifies you by name. The human identity is more important than just your name identity. We know that we look at us when we come here. And some societies, they name you, they give you a name before you're born. But in any case, whether they name you before you're born or they name you when you're born, when you come here, you're not conscious of your name. You don't come here aware of your name. You're not conscious of what that name identity is that's been put on you. You come here human first. Again, that's proof to tell us that that's the most important identity. Because you're not that person yet. You're not Talib yet. You're not Jamal yet. You're not Hamid yet. You grow, you become into that identity. You come here just like everybody else. And you could be any one of them over time. But you come here upon the universal pattern. You cry, you speak, you laugh, you love, and you want purity the same. All of us want purity. This is the nature that we have again. And we love to see the message that Allah put in the baby. When they relieve themselves, the Allah put in their nature to make some noise so they can get the ear of any responsible adult to come return them back to purity. That's the nature. Every single one of us come here upon that pattern. And at that time, we don't even know who we are. We don't know the name. We know mama. We don't know, but we know that's because we're trusted, that we're connected to that body. So this is the human identity that Allah brings us all here upon, so we don't get away from that identity. In fact, the studies already show that people are adopting babies that are born to Japanese families, and they're here in America and they don't even speak no Japanese. They don't even know Japanese culture. You see? They got people who are adopting Russian babies, or have adopted. They can't do it now, I guess, because of the laws that's out there now. But they have. But they don't speak Russian. They don't know the culture. You see? But they were born to that family. They came in human, so that tells us, that the person that you become, brother and sister, wherever you are in the world, the person that you become depends on where you are placed. And who decides that? You don't decide that. You don't have no choice in the matter. You don't have no choice about even coming here, about the family, about the racial makeup, the ethnicity, the national. You don't have no choice in the matter. You see? Allah determines that. So Allah wants you to be in that particular circumstance that He put you in. And then you begin to become someone that will speak the language, know your name. If you're American, you become an American. If the language is English, you begin to speak English. Even though you may have come from a Japanese family, you speak in English. So Allah wants us to see who He tells us. He said, look, I made you from this, all of you come from this common beginning of a male and a female. This is how it all starts for you. And He said, and I made you different. I gave you these differences. Li ta'arafu. You see? But it's telling us, He connects us first with our bigger picture to let us know that I'm giving these distinctions, but I don't want you to limit yourself to that racial body. Because you're not limited to it. You could be in a racial body and not be of the culture of people if you're born in another land. That's the take. Don't limit yourself to that. You see, we got some people now that are talking about race pride, and they're limiting themselves. You see, Allah said, don't limit yourself to a racial body. Don't limit yourself to an ethnic body. Don't even limit yourself to an American body, to an American identity. Don't limit yourself. You created bigger than that. He's telling you we have to get the message of the world. When you limit yourself to that, you're saying that all you can have for your humanity is that. And that's all that you can become, is that. When Allah said He created you for more. He created you with more. So don't limit yourself to those particular identities, So yes, we have to look at, yes, He gave me this body. For me, it's an African American body. But why? And you have to ask yourself, why did He give you your body? Why did He give you your ethnicity? Why? He says, lead to all the food. So you can give another expression to the human expression. There's various human expressions. They had the movie on Robin Hood. They had this one that had Morgan Freeman in it. And he's a Moor. And of course the rest of them are European. And he meets this young girl and she sees that he looks different. And she asks him, why is he looking different from them? And he says to her that God loves variety. This is what he says to her. God loves, I'm different because God loves variety. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wassalatu wassalam ala rasulihi kareem Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Li ta'arafu. So that's telling us, li ta'arafu. He gave us these differences. Allah is telling us that the Quran, this is Quran, the Quran, the final revelation that we have in the form of a book, that it says that it accommodates race pride. So I don't think it's something wrong with race pride. It's not wrong with race pride. It accommodates that, you know. But for my sober, dignified conscience is how Allah wants us to see it, you know. Allah is saying that He gives, say that it doesn't leave you out. You're not to be left out. No matter who you are and whatever your composition is, you are not to be left out. And this is what happens sometimes. People fear that they're going to be left out, you know. This is what's happening around the world. And they will do things in the name of superior, to make themselves superior so they won't be left out. But we have to bring them back to the Qibla, you see. Your appetite, you have a different appetite. In fact, there's a whole appetite that started in America that wasn't in the world before, something called a bean pie. You know, there's a people that were created that was never on the planet before, those type of people. And they created an appetite for something called a bean pie. You know, but their circumstances produced that. And there are other things that came out of that their circumstances caused them to produce distinguished culture all around the planet. There are things that because of the different culture, a different taste, you know, the cultural life, the distinction. Lisa Arafu is really speaking about the culture, the cultural differences that we have. And Allah said we have to get to a point where we understand the differences, get to know each other. You know, this is the, Lisa Arafu also has in it, is really talking about, I dressed you up. I give you dress, you know. And so we're to see, and we know people have different dress. And that identifies culture sometimes because of the physical dress that they have on. And so now we have to ask, we get curious about that. And this is what Allah wants to do in our mind. With children, they come here. They have these curiosities. So Allah is showing us as we go out and we see the differences, we're supposed to become curious. And we're supposed to examine each other. We're supposed to look at each other. This Qibla tells us to look at where we came from and look at where we are now. Come together and look at who you are. We're not one race. We're not one ethnicity. We're not one nationality. We're all across the world. One human family. You see? But look how we go back. We go back and we find out where we started from. So Allah said, look at you now, examine that. Examine the white man. Examine him. Examine the African. Examine the sciences. Examine the people's work. Look at what they're doing. Examine them. And the curiosity. When we come to curiosity, then we have to say that maybe, because it's a question. Allah wants to ask a question. Maybe he's not the best. Allah gave us something. He said that there are things, some things that are going to distinguish you. He said the one that gets the honor is the one that has the taqwa. It says, look at the things they're doing. So somebody, they might not be doing the best. So we have to be examining what each of us are doing. Because all of us, Allah said, fastabiqu khayrat. Strive as in a race. Compete with one another as in a race towards all that is good. To see who's better. That's why people compete. They want to see who's better. They have these Olympics. They have these tournaments and everything. Who's better? You see? And competition don't necessarily mean you're going to win, but you just challenge yourself and you bring things out of yourself. This is a healthy competition God is calling us all to. So He wants us to look at each other, you see, and say, and you have the right to say this in your ethnicity, whether you be an African, whether you be a European, whether you be a Chinese, well, you have a right to say and ask yourself, you say, maybe I can do it better. Maybe I can do it better. Allah don't want you to write yourself off. You see, because some people, because somebody else said that I'm the only one that can do it better. Some never consider that I can do it better. Maybe. Allah wants to look at these differences, you see. If we believe we are equal, if we believe that, then we should have these curiosities. You see, we should be having these crosses to feel that maybe he didn't do it the best way. And we want the best. We want the best. We want people to compete so the best can come out. You see? So Allah is encouraging us. And this is the thing that we find that's happening. Allah is saying, so we should take this as an opportunity. The life that I've given you. You talked about life. So I gave you this, like say, if I want you all to be the same, I would have done that. That wasn't my will. He said, if it was my will that you all would be the same, I would have done that. He said, but I did it to test you, to try to give you an opportunity. He said, compete for what is best. To me, it's your final return. And you've got to be questioning about that. This is what he's saying. So this is the thing that we should take an opportunity for us to prove ourselves. And what are we marching towards? Taqwa. You see? He said that's the distinguishing factor. The major distinguishing factor. Everything you're doing is based on you being conscious of the one who gave you the life. Taqwa. That's the factor. Get into the competition. Compete. We got people that they're out of the race that's not in the race. And they say mostly about African Americans because of the situation. Some have been because we got a lot of things dealing with the situation that has affected the thinking, the psychology of the people. You see? No, but Allah wants us in the race. And He lets us know that when we look really, this is really what it's all about. Competition. You know, you're hearing it. They're saying that they're taking jobs. They're doing this. You know, so the whole thing now is I have to assert myself as being better. I have to eliminate the competition. You know, the ones who are dealing with superiority complexes, they're really insecure. Because they for the most part, really haven't prepared themselves. They really haven't been challenged like those who've been put under pressure. You know, we were always told that certain people in society have a silver spoon. I was in the military, and many of you know this. One of the things I saw firsthand, this is one of the examples, of the many examples. You will have someone applying to be an officer. And these are actual cases. Their score was under the score it took to become an officer. The African American come right behind, excel the score. I mean, he got a good score. But he doesn't get elected to become an officer. The one that was white, he gets to be an officer. Yeah, he didn't even really pass the score. But he gets to come in. And so this is an example that we found all across the world because of the color. You know? But what Allah's marching us to is that the best should come out to compete. That person might not be the best one. And he wasn't the best one. He couldn't even do good on the test. We want the best to come out. This is in your family, you want the best to go forward. In your community, you want the best to go forward. And when you're talking about developing certain technology, you want the best minds to bring out the best results. But if you write yourself off, if you allow yourself to be written off, then that best can never come out. You see, this white supremacy complex that we're seeing in society, you know. And we know it has a big lift. Big lift comes from the images. And we know images are coming down. But images is one of the biggest things that have been used to give white supremacy a lift. And you can't have a more powerful image than an image of the Creator or an image of a race. You know, no, you can't get a more powerful image than that. You know, you find in a Muslim journal every week, there's a statement from the Imam Muhammad that's called a message of concern. And then he gives these examples that show how this image affects the psychology. And say what will happen to the minds of white kids if they were to sit in churches and synagogues under the images with the gods, the prophets, the angels of everybody, if over a period of 400 years, if they sat under the image of God and those other figures as black. So what would that do to their minds over a period of 400 years? And they say, what does a little white boy and a little black boy, when they sit beside each other in these places of worship? And the white boy sees himself in the image of the prophets, of God, the angels, and the little black boy, he can't relate as the white relate. So this is one of the biggest boosts that comes in. And of course, you know, African Americans are always told because of these pressures in society that they have to do more. It's not just come from Africa. Many of those who are marginalized, the Hispanic, same, you know, anyone who have come here, Because they don't have that quote-unquote, that spoon. This is what they're talking about, this racial. They're saying you're better because of your race. All the other ones coming with this stigma on them that they know they have to work harder. And that's why they compete. And that's why they want to be kept out of being competing, because when they compete, they've already been working. Their muscles have already been working. But the one who really didn't have to worry about a whole lot, he didn't exercise his muscles that much. So really he fears the competition. He fears the competition. He's insecure about the competition. If you think about the things that people of color who have been marginalized have been kept out of, once they've got into those arenas, they have excelled. And we find it all in America. We find this all throughout America. This excelling because of the pressures that have been put on the people. So it's like a psychological thing is happening. Allah said He wants us to get to know each other. He wants us to get to know each other, to get to understand each other. This is what leads to article means. It means you should know yourself. Allah is telling you about yourself. That He's giving you something to distinguish you as an individual. And look at it in families. You have in the families, you have different personalities, different characteristics. Every one of your children don't have the same gift. They have different gifts. So you keep multiply that. It's the same. So Allah wants you to look at that, get to know yourself, and then get to know others. Why? Leads to article. The word means they should be going back and forth. But it means don't try to learn about somebody else before you know yourself, because you can be consumed by them. And we find a lot of that in America. Even some who've been marginalized, they've gotten to know some people. They've given up who they were to be somebody else. And when you see them, they look like they're in a certain body. But when they begin to speak and they dress, and now they look like another culture. They've been consumed because they didn't know who they were. They didn't know themselves. So we have to understand. It means to understand. And the way it goes is, the things that if you understand it, then you begin to appreciate it. And then you begin to find some value. What do you have that I don't have? But when you don't understand something, and this is what's happening in the world a lot of times, and we say we had an interview today with the TV, and they wanted to know, are the people just ignorant to Islam? And they just don't understand. They haven't taken the time to understand. And the way the scenario goes, the things you don't understand, we fear. We fear we don't understand. You see? And then the psychology of the mind is the things that you fear, then in your mind, it becomes bad. Or it becomes evil. And if it gets to that point where it's bad or evil, then now you got to control that. And if you can't control it, then you will seek to eliminate it. You will seek to kill it. You will seek to destroy it. And that's what we see happening. People are killing each other because they don't understand. And it starts with that understanding. You see, Allah says He created us so we can get to know each other. Lead to order of food. Get to know each other. Speak to each other. Communicate with each other. We had, as I get ready to close this out, President Obama, again, still making history. He had the most liked tweet in addressing what's happening in the society. So he tweets a quote from Mandela. He says, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or his background or his religion." Same thing we just said that was in the Quran. Same thing what this represents right now for us. Really, we're not supposed to hate about that because Allah takes us back to the human life. That's why people speak about the brotherhood of Islam, the universal brotherhood of Islam. Bigger Malcolm. One of the things Malcolm was saying when he went to Hajj, what he saw, he'd never seen that before. Whites and blacks, even all the same. Well, he'd never seen that. He just never believed that. This is his brotherhood. This thing based on this Qibla that we have. This is the next. So he makes this tweet. So we're seeing something. This has never happened before. He's not even in the presidency anymore. The things we're seeing happening right now because people are not accepting just to be outcast because of race. And of course we got plenty of symbols of that, even the Hajj right now, focusing on Abraham, Sarah, what happened to her, these things that show that racism and social material status, how they affect also in the religious life. But we're seeing things happen now where people are taking a stand upon the excellence that Allah Ta'ala put in them. We've never seen also happening. You have to understand, we have to be readers. Leaders are readers, not just reading physically. We have to read, but we have to read the time. We have to read the signs. Allah says ayahs all around you, in you and outside of you. So you should be paying attention But he said most of the people neglectful. They neglect. They don't pay attention. They're not reading. They're not heeding. But look what's happening. First time in the history of America where business leaders and military leaders have spoken out in a way that connects to the common life of the human being. Never seen it happen in America before. Their comments are going against that president. That had never happened before. You know, we have the only African American that was a part of the business council at the presidency, Fortune. They called him the strongest man in the world because of his stance. He was standing upon a universal principle to reject anything that tries to degrade my life, to subordinate my life to yours because of race. He was standing upon that. And then we've seen this, we haven't seen this happen in our history before. The Associated Press, they put out a statement. They say, we are no longer going to use the phrase or words alt-right. And they didn't stop. They say, because it is just a cover word for racist behavior and thoughts that is used to sanitize white supremacy, white nationalism, white racism, etc. And they say it's a brand to take the truth and normalize their behavior. Haven't seen that happen before. But we do know because they did this, we know that there are things that they can come up, the media can say that they're not going to say because of the harm that it does. So that tells us as Muslims that we can push also for certain words that are associated with Islam that we know is not accurate, that affects the beauty of the religion, that we can push back and petition them not to use those words either because they do the same thing in reverse for Muslims. So this is a statement that they've made. Again, we're seeing something we've never seen happen before. Then we have this faulty comparison. Some say he put out his moral equivalency coming from the top. They say that the terrorist group, the group that killed Heather Heyer, here, this is less than a week ago, you know, he said they're good. They're good because a few of them were good, though the majority was bad. That makes them good. And then he said that there was on the other side that the majority was good, but because a few were bad, then they're bad. Now you see the faulty comparison there. You see, and we know the Prophet told us, really, it's better to be with good company than to be by yourself. But it's better to be by yourself than to be with bad company. You see? Because of the association. The association. You know, so how can you compare the two? You cannot compare the two. So we thank Allah for blessing us to see the beauty of the Jumah. We're uniting, we're coming together, and it's a beautiful picture around the world when you see the Muslims, the most diverse body in America and around the world, giving humanity a picture of itself. We're really giving humanity a picture of itself. Don't forget who you are, and don't get lost in the noise traffic that's going back and forth. Understand that you are supposed to do what Muhammad the Prophet ﷺ did, and that is he went to 7. And we know the Qibla, when we go build the house, we have to do 7. That's talking about the 7 levels, and the 7 levels in you, etc. But he went to 7 levels, and then he led them, starting from Adam, the one that we're focused on, and the other prophets, the major prophets. And he went and led them in prayer. That represents all of humanity. That represents your charge. Most of the people are not focused on the same Qibla. Again, it's the understanding and the meaning that we have to get across. So we certainly extend our condolences to the families that were affected by the hate, that were affected by the violence, the terror here in America. And also in Spain, we know that I guess the count is up to 14 that are dead now, with many that were injured. We're seeing all this taking place in the past week, and there's just so many more that are unaccounted for that we don't even hear about. You see, so we may our prayers join the parents' prayers, particularly of Heather Heyer, and it's something. Her name is Heather Heyer, and her mother said that she was standing for something, and she would hope that her death would be magnified, would help us to go higher. You see, in our resolve to stand upon the moral excellence that God put in all of us. We ask Allah to purify us and our intentions, to accept our prayers and give us increase, to keep us on the path, to give us His protection, and keep our interest for the whole of the religion, and that we live it fully in society so that our life will be a testimony, a witness for all other societies of what Allah wants for mankind. May Allah give us light and open our eyes for the light, and forgive us our ignorance and our sins against our own life, so that we will have His mercy and a new chance for life and progress. Ameen. Come on, just left. Do have some announcements immediately after for those who can stay. Some of them are the important ones I want to make sure I get out. Well, why don't you change and let him get on there with the young ones. Come on, move over here. Let him get on the end with the youth. Yeah. Okay. You good? You okay with him being on the end? One of them? You can let one get here because there's a spot right here. It's okay. Okay. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim ghayril maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Wadduha wal-layli idha saja. Ma wadda'aka rabbuka wa ma qala. Walau al-akhiratu khayrun laka min al-ula. Walasawfa ya'tika rabbuka fatarda. Alam yajidka yatiman fa'awa. Wa wajadaka dallan fahada. Wa wajadaka ailan fa'agna. فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله أكبر سمع الله لمن حمده الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر السلام عليكم ورحمة الله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله استغفر الله اللهم أنت السلام ومنك السلام وأنت يا ذا الجلال والإكرام الفاتحة بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir!
Allahu Akbar. Anybody have the brochure, the bulletin? Okay, it's a request that came in coming from Muhammad Likat Ali from Bangladesh that's here in the Jumah. Her grandfather passed yesterday in Bangladesh. Make dua for our brother. His name is Abdul Rahman. He was 95 years old. And so she wants us to do a janazah for him. So inshallah we'll honor that in just a second here. Inshallah. Next Saturday we have a security safety meeting. Some of you know that we just had a change in the security system in the masjid. The cameras have been changed. There's a lot of more changes to come. You're going to see some of the doors going to be changing as well. But we're looking to have a security meeting. Sultan is here. He's heading that meeting up 9 o'clock next Saturday. Anybody interested? We need certainly men, but not just men. We need sisters too. Because also they're getting trained in hospitality type stuff as well. So we want to make sure that we are very cordial to people, very polite to people, that we reflect the character of Muhammad the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam when we meet people, no matter who's welcoming people here. So that's very important. We do have our brother from Real Brothers. It's a new restaurant, actually a store. I guess it was a store. He's here. Brother Farouk is over here. They just opened up on MLK, and our facility on MLK is called Real Brothers, R-E-E-L, because they in the fishing industry. They have fresh fish, they clean fresh fish, and they do fish dinners, and they're trying to do more. And so go look at the place. If you haven't seen our location on MLK, they've done a wonderful job, and we want to support them. Make sure we support our brother. The fish that you're eating today, fresh fish, come from our brother. Come from our brother. And we're not getting any more fish from anybody unless it comes from him. So that's what you're eating on Friday. It's coming from our brother who's over there on MLK in our facilities on MLK. Support them and go look at the facility. They've done a dynamic job. We thank Allah for them. Next Saturday, we also have the share distribution to take place here. So that's from 7 to 8. Again, we always need help delivering those groceries to the needy. And again, if you're not doing anything, make a sacrifice for that hour or so to come here and help package up and just make those distributions, to take that load off of some of the senior people that's been doing it for a long time. I think Shareef's in like his 12th or 13th year. It's been going for a long time, and the same people have been back there since 13 years ago. And some of them are elderly right now, but some of you all men who are here won't come out to help. They're still doing it. We thank Allah for that. They know they get the reward with Allah, but you can share in that by coming out to help and make life easier for them as well. MARBA is the Muslim American Veterans Association. They have a meeting tomorrow here at the masjid. Also going to be a breakfast. If you're a veteran, please come to the meeting. If you're a veteran, please come to the meeting. Very important that you come to the meeting and that you participate and become a part of MARBA. 10 o'clock, and there's a breakfast. You get a good breakfast. The brothers do a very good breakfast, 10 o'clock in the morning. Very important because of the identity and what we're trying to do with that organization. And we've got 16 posts across America, and they're growing, but we need you to help the growth. Okay, we talked about security meeting. We have an open house plan on 9/11. And again, very important, my dear brothers and sisters, that we have your assistance to support us. We're going to have an open house here, open to the community, from 12 to 5. And we're going to have a presentation here for the people in the community. And we expect to have many visitors. So hopefully you'll be here too to interact with the guests so they can show and interact and see the beauty of our community and of Muslims, period. Okay, the masjid is going to be photographed by the Smithsonian and the Costume Museum. This is, again, an important announcement. You can only be in the photo if you fill out one of the forms. It's a form you have to fill out. And you can pick that form up from the office. You got to get it by the 15th. And we want as many people as possible. This is going to be a historical photo. So as many people as possible. We're going to take it out front. They're going to come over here. Let's see the date. It looks like they don't have the date. They said we need to get the form. Or 29th. So we got plenty of time for everybody to fill your form out if you want to be in the photo. And it's going to be a historical piece. They're going to be using it in exhibits. The museum archives. And also new projects. So it's a historical piece. They're looking at our history. They see the value, and they want us to have a good photo. So again, by September 15th, pick up a copy of the form and turn in your release form. It's a release form that you have to turn into. You cannot be in the photo if you don't turn the form in. But we want you in the photo, so please turn the form. If you want to be in the photo, please turn the form in. Again. Okay, Qibla, we have a new site manager for Qibla. Qibla is our senior nutrition site. Again, if you're over 60 years old and you live in the district, you should be a member of Qibla and help and support the program. And if you don't live in the district, they have things that they do that you can participate in. The lunch, the trips. They got a cruise. They're going to be doing a cruise on October the 4th on the Spirit of Washington. It's $49 per person. So whether you're a member or not, you should maybe go on the cruise with them. They're going to have lunch out there on the cruise as well. So sign up for that. Payment is due by September 15th. That's to go on the cruise with our seniors program. That's going to take place on October the 4th. That's going to be on a Wednesday. So join them. Very important announcement. This should have been actually the first one. Our youth program is starting back up. Our youth weekend program begins September the 24th. Okay, so we want all youth. This is the 9th cycle. So we thank Allah Ta'ala. This is cycle number 9. We've been very consistent with the program. They're doing creation-inspired curriculum plus Arabic, Islamic adab, Islamic studies, arts and crafts. You get new Muslim friends. It's fun. They do all kind of trips and things as well. So enroll now. Begin to enroll now. Also, the masjid is going to be partnering with Bridges. Actually, I think this is August the 19th. At 11 o'clock, passing out backpacks and school supplies at the community house, 252 37th place in Southeast. So please volunteer to help pass out backpacks for school and school supplies. The masjid is partnering with Bridges, and we're going to be at the community house doing so. So we need volunteers to come help to do that. They're going to be passing those out. They're going to be cutting hair and doing some other things for the youth. Assalamu alaikum.